Good evening, friends. This is Pradeep from Tech and Training Corporate Solutions. This is our 13th day on Microsoft Excel Power Query. Today, I'm very happy that we have learned or completed 13 days of our regular webinar series, and now we have two more webinars left, which is Power Pivot and Power Query. Let me tell you, friends, this Power Query, Power Pivot contribute to Power BI. So now what we are going to do is we are going to start this seminar, but before that, as always, let me request each one of you to go to this website, which is pmscare.gov.in, or you can scan the QR code to go to this website from mobile and make the payment over there. Friends, here donation does not matter, but the act of kindness does. So please go ahead and make some donation to any other organization. If not PMK, then you can even go ahead and make donations to any other organization of your choice, or do any other act of kindness, because at this difficult times we need each other's support and we must support each other. So make sure that you either make the donation on this website or any other website or any other organization, but I would urge you and request you to make it today itself. Do not leave it for tomorrow. Okay, so friends, here we are on 13th day, which is Power Query, and today we are going to learn how do we automate without writing macro or without writing codes in Microsoft Excel. So there are a lot of things which are coming on our way today, and today we are going to see how do we do, or how do we write if function without writing if function, how do we do VLOOKUP without writing VLOOKUP, how do we automate without writing code. So this is going to be a very simple exercise, but indeed extremely helpful. Like I mentioned earlier, this Power Query is available in Excel 2016 and Office 365 version, but it is not there in 2013 or 2010. You need to go ahead to download it from the internet. I have given the link in today's email as well. So those who do not have Power Query needs to download it. Now, those who are using 2016, they must be clueless where is this Power Query hidden. So I'm going to unhide the Power Query command for you. Before we go ahead, these are the regular announcements. Our email will continue from pradeep@techandtraining.biz. I would strongly request you and urge you to save this email ID into your contacts or keep checking your junk mail folder, because our mails might land in spam because we are using mass mailing service. Those who are not receiving our practice files or regular emails, I have requested them to register on this website, that is on this registration page, that is tinyurl.com/15days15. This registration will help you to register your email address with us, and every day when we send out emailers, we take up the dump from this registration form. So if you're not receiving, please register using your personal email ID if your official email ID is not working. Now, one more thing, our videos are available on this URL, which is tinyurl.com/15day webinar. You can go on to this playlist and watch all our previous recordings. Yesterday's recording is available on Dynamic Array. Now, friends, many people have asked that those who have missed this session, they would want practice files to be available. So what we are going to do is every day's practice file, now we are going to upload it onto our YouTube channel. Now, these files have not been uploaded as of now, but we are going to upload it on YouTube channel. Let me show you where to find these files, just in case if you want to practice again. So when you go to our YouTube channel /playlist, here, when you go here, this is nothing but a playlist, and in this playlist, when you go here, you may play any of these videos. Let's say you want to watch, view some files that we have shared on Excel. Go to this Excel, and as of now, these files are not available, but today we are going to make it available for all the videos. These files will be available under this section. So there will be a link provided here. You can click on that link to download these practice files. So for all other videos which require some practice files, under those videos, we are going to post the link to download the files. Now, friends, so this is our 15 days webinar playlist. Please do subscribe to the channel and save this playlist on the browser. This is my profile. I would request Prashant is now pasting the YouTube URL link so that you can go to this website and subscribe to our channel. We will be coming with lot more videos. See, there are a lot of practice or tips and tricks which I have not been able to cover in these 15 days as well. There are plenty of them. I am going to create videos every week, and in order to receive that, it won't be possible for us to continue emailers every day or every week like we are doing right now. So your subscription to this channel is important for us. Yeah. And please do connect with me on LinkedIn and leave any comment, whatever you feel like about these seminars. Going ahead, this is a one-way communication and you can't speak to me, but make sure that you use the Q&A panel, which is on the right hand side. This Q&A panel will be interactive and my colleague Prashant is responding to each and every query that you are asking. But at times, if a particular question requires more detailed explanation, then he keeps those reserved for me. And at the end of the webinar, please do give the feedback. Now, you register for this seminar, which is Chanakya and Daily Life, another registration link which Prashant is sharing on the Q&A panel. Please go ahead and register for this seminar. I am pretty sure that you will enjoy listening to Radhakrishnan Pillai. Those who do not know about him, just Google about him. He is a renowned author, recognized globally. Yeah. So I will be eager to see you on 1st of May 2020 at 5:30 p.m. So friends, let's get started with our session. I wish you all a very happy learning. First thing, let me go to this mailer which I had sent to all of you. There is a link to download all the practice file. Today also I'm going to perform the same steps. This is the email and here are the practice files. I click on that email, it will take me to this link. What we are going to do is just click on download now. When we click on download, it helps us to download all these files at the same time. So I'm going to save it today. Let me put it on my desktop. This is very short session. Okay. So make sure that you download these files. Okay. It's taking a while. Here it will be, yeah, Power Query short session. So friends, when we download this file, it will get downloaded into a zip folder. Many times I have seen people, they don't zip it and they just double click on it and open the practice file. Please do not open the practice files by double clicking on that folder, because there are a lot of folder files or combined files which we are going to use today, which will not allow Power Query to access this folder. So make sure that you perform this step before we go ahead. You do right click and click on extract all. When it says extract all, place it wherever you want to and then click on extract. When you click on extract here, you will see this folder under Power Query session, which will automatically export all the files and this will be in original formats. Yeah. So friends, understand that this particular file, these all folders and files are required. So unzipping is extremely important. Now, let me show you when we open Excel, where do you find the Power Query? If you are using Office 2013, if you have installed Power Query, I had given the link on my email to go ahead and install Power Query. So here is the link to download and install it from here. This is the link where you can directly go to Power Query website and download the add-in and install it. If you have not done it, you can still do it. It is just 7 MBs of software. You can quickly download it. Now, second thing, those who are using Office 2016 or 19, they have Power Query installed in their machines or in their software because it comes along with it. But if you have not been able to find where exactly Power Query is available, you need to go to Data tab and over here the option Get Data. If your Excel is or Excel is 2013 version, which is a little older update which has not been updated recently, then you may get something here which is called as New Query. So either it's Get Data or it is new query that you will find under the data tab. Understand, it is available under data tab. If either you will have get data or new query, somewhere here new query will be there next to sort and all. So that new query is nothing but your Power Query. Now if you have new query, it may happen that your screen would look slightly different from my screen. So don't worry if there is any such difference. I'm going to bring it to your notice well in advance. Okay. Now let me go ahead and quickly talk about the Power Query features. Yeah. Now this Power Query is a tool which can get the data from different applications into Excel. You can bring all the different applications into Excel. And let me tell you friends, those who are interested in upgrading themselves to Power BI, for them this is a good news that Power Query, this is the first step in Power BI. When we do Power BI day after tomorrow, you will find exactly the same screen being used in Power BI as well. There won't be any differences, and if there are differences, Power Query will have little bit more features or connectors. These are nothing but connectors that you see. These connectors are little more in Power BI than in Excel. See, you can get the data from Excel file, from text file, XML, JSON. You can even get the data from directly a folder. Yeah. So if there is a folder and you have got all different files over there, you can get the data from folder and merge all different files into Excel. Today we are going to see one example on folders. Then we have SharePoint folder. If you remember, if you have attended our SharePoint training program or Microsoft Teams training program, there we extensively discussed about SharePoint document library. So that SharePoint document library is nothing but SharePoint folder, which is the common folder on the cloud as we discussed earlier. Yeah. So you can even get the data from SharePoint folder. The databases that you have, Access, SQL, and all those different databases, you also have a SAP HANA connector. So if your organization has SAP HANA database, you can directly import the data from SAP. You need not have to export the files and then import it in Excel. Azure is something which is for cloud. I'm skipping that part. Here you can even get the email addresses from Microsoft Exchange Online. So let me tell you one thing. Before the start of this seminar, I wanted to send emails, mass mailers, to all my customers who have been associated with us for a long time. What I did, I wanted to extract all the email addresses who we have interacted with in the last 1 year, because we didn't want to spam the people, those who are not working with us, or it's been more than a year that we have dealt with. So we wanted to get the email addresses of all the people. So what I did was I used Microsoft Exchange here and I extracted all the email addresses. You can also do email analytics. Let's say if you're managing any common folder like or a mail account and you want to see how many emails are you receiving on day wise and all those things. All those activities on your emails you can do using Power Query. Yeah. So this Exchange Online or Microsoft Exchange are nothing but the same thing, whatever your email is hosted on. If your organization does not use Exchange server but use Outlook, then this feature would not work. Yeah. I repeat once again, if you are using Outlook to exchange emails but your email server is not Microsoft Exchange or email service is not hosted on Microsoft Exchange, this feature is not going to help you. It is only for Exchange user. You can download the complete dump of your emails onto Excel file and analyze that. I have done that. That is one thing. Second thing, here we have got a lot of options like on the web. So yesterday, if you remember, I spoke about the Cricut database. That entire database, how did I download into Excel? Using this feature. Of course, it's not very simple because I'm going to show you the source where I got the data from today. But it may not be possible for me to go through the entire thing. But let me tell you, I'm seriously considering to create a video on how do we get the data from multiple web pages. And I will be hosting that on our YouTube channel. This video, I will be explaining this in the video. But rest of the things that you see here from Microsoft Query or SharePoint list or Active Directory, blank query, all these are nothing but something that you may have to use frequently. Okay. So there are a lot of connectors which are available that you may want to get the data from. For normal user, all these connectors are more than enough. You can, mostly people use Excel as a connector or CSV as connector or folder or SharePoint folder. That is the maximum usage that I have seen. Few users also connect using Access database, and a few others. These are something which are exceptions which people use it, and this web query also is something that people use it frequently. Okay, so I'm going to take up an example on web query, but not a detailed session on that. Now, second thing, what kind of data is required in Power Query? So let me quickly take you through a small presentation in Excel, which will help you to understand what kind of data is prohibited in Excel and what kind of data is accepted in Power Query easily. Okay, here this is a small presentation on data which is in Excel itself. By the way, let me tell you, I am not the person who has created this file. This was created by Dr. Nitin Pranj. I have attended one of his seminar, and there I got this file. I really like this file, where the way he has categorized the data. So it is the categorization of good data and bad data. So your ideal data should look like this. Now you must be wondering, what's the big deal about this data? All your data is like this. Yeah. So let me tell you what are some problems that you may encounter. When you import the data, you must ensure that no column is blank. Column header is blank. If you're using table feature, which we learned day before yesterday and we practiced yesterday as well, the table takes care of that. If you do not have the header for any particular column, then when you convert the data into table, it automatically takes that header as column 1. Then we have duplicate header. No two column can have the same name. A table feature takes care of this feature as well. The moment you convert this into table, this will become date and this will automatically become date 2. So make sure with Power Query, table is very important. It does not accept any merge cells. Make sure merge cells are your enemies, those who do a lot of data churning. Never use merge cells on the data which is going to be required to be used for any kind of analysis. Merge cells are to be used at the end when you have done everything and it is just to present the data to the management. That time you can use merge cells, but not to the source data. You cannot have a column header with a formula like this. There is a formula, you cannot have it. You have to use a fixed value or text. Especially these numbers will automatically get converted into text in Power Query. If you are again using table will take care of this problem. The reason I'm emphasizing that table is a must feature. You should never work without table. Yeah. Now, here when we talk about this particular data, generally this is not very relevant because mostly you do not create the data, but you download the data. So I'm skipping this for now. This kind of data where we have a lot of blank cells, you need not keep the data like this. You must fill the data like this kind of pattern. And if you have attended our Excel session, I have given the solution in that. If you have not, do check the video on the YouTube channel. Your data should have the same data type. Now again, this is not relevant, so I'm skipping that because most of the time you get the data already prepared. This is the summarized data, like it's like a PNL or kind of 2013 and 2014 sheets. So this is again not a good data for Power Query because you cannot summarize this data. I mean, ultimately, what do you want to do? You want to create pivot table reports so that you can summarize, and this is already in a summarized format. So this is not a good data. Here again, most of the time we give color to certain figures, and that color is known to only the person who has created that. If that person sends it to someone else, that person will wonder what is this color for. So ideally, you should not color, but give the names of those color that can be used for analysis. This is one of the serious problem that I have seen in corporate where the data is like this. The data grows horizontally, wherein the data should grow vertically. I have seen this problem with most of the finance guys. The people in finance, they maintain the data like this. If they have to add a new month's data, they'll create a column, or maybe might as well they'll create a new sheet and add the data onto their Excel file. And then when they need quarterly data, all the finance people will sit together and add 3 data, add 3 data, add 3 data, 3 columns. Like that, they increase their own work. Remember my statement, never work for Excel. Excel doesn't pay you. Yeah? Make Excel work for you. So your data should not grow horizontally, it should grow vertically, because vertical data is required by pivot table report. Horizontal data cannot summarize. Yeah. So this horizontal and vertical, it's a very important to understand. Maybe in some detailed session I can give more insights on vertical and horizontal data, but this is very problematic situation in most of the Excel users. Yeah. One more thing, if you remember, if I ask you how much time do you need to create a pivot table report, not even 5 minutes. But to create the data for pivot table report, the answer could be endless. Someone would say 10 minutes, 1 hour to 10 days to create just the data for pivot table report. And this is the main problem, that your data is not in the right format. Last thing, most of the corporates I have seen, they have multiple headers for each column. You should not have multiple headers, you should have single header. Yeah, single row header. Yeah, make sure if you have multi-row header, you need to convert it to single row header. Yeah. So friends, here we have another thing. We have match type, T20, one day and test. All these three things we have here. Again, this is a merge cells, and these are individual columns. So you cannot go ahead and use this data as a table. Okay. So friends, understand that this kind of data are not required by pivot table or Power Query. Power Query requires good set of data. Now you must be wondering that इतना सब काम अगर Power Query के लिए करना पड़े, तो why to use Power Query? Now what I meant to say is, these are the problems with Power Query. Yeah, these could be the silly problems that can create problems in Power Query and ultimately creating your data preparation. Yeah. Now, let me tell you one thing, that although these are the problems or challenges with Power Query, but Power Query also has a solution to these problems. So today we are going to fight some of these problems and see how can it work. So first thing, friends, that I am going to talk about is, let us see how do we import the data of one Excel file into another Excel file. Okay. As of now, open any blank Excel worksheet. Do not open any of the existing files that I have given you. Okay. Open any blank Excel sheet. And now what I want all of you to do is, I would like to import the data from this Excel training file. Okay. Now I'll teach you one Windows trick. A very useful Windows trick. I want to get the path of this file. So how do we get the path of this file? This way. Control C. Now the problem is, when I get the path of this file, I get only the root folder. I did not get the file name along with this path. So what I can do is, when I do right click, see here, I do not get any option which says copy as path. What I want here, I would like to get copy as path. I hold shift key and do right click. When I hold shift key and right click on any folder, I get something which says copy as path. Yeah. So when I click on copy as path, let me show you. This was the file. Let me delete it. And see here, this is the path of the file. It starts with C drive and it continues till the last file name, right? So it gets you the file name as well as the path. Now what do I want here? I go to data, then get data. Yeah. Now, those who are using Excel 2013, they need, if they have downloaded and installed Power Query, you need to go to Power Query. Here, when you click on that, you will directly get this option that says from file. Yeah, you don't need to do anything. Just go to Power Query tab and click on from file, from workbook. Those who are using Excel 2016, they need to go to data, and there will be an option here which says new query or get data. Now, when you go to new query or get data, here we have something called as from file and from workbook. Okay. Now, when I go ahead and go to new workbook, I'll simply paste the path of that file where that file is located. So when I paste the path of that file, you will see that this particular file path automatically comes there, and then I click on import. Yeah. Now, those who have not been able to get copy as path need not worry. Let me do it again for you. Go to get data, from file, from workbook. This time, when you go to workbook, just browse to the location where you have saved it. So I saved it on my desktop. there is a folder with the name Power Query Short Session. I click on that and this file comes, and I'll now click on Excel training file. This is the same method that you generally use for email attachments. Yeah. Now, when I have come here for in Power Query import window, here it is asking me what data do you want to import. Let's say I would like to import Excel sheet. Yeah. Now, when I click on Excel sheet and I go to transform, see what happens. I come to this particular screen where I have got all the data into that sheet. Okay. Now you will see that my data has been perfectly imported. Yeah. If you go down, it is perfectly imported. So automatically the file has understood where the data is, and this is how easily it recognizes your data and import the files. Now, next thing what we are supposed to do, once the file is imported, I'll click on close and load. Now you must be wondering, why did I have to import the data from another Excel file and paste it over here? I can simply Control C and Control V. Okay. Now, this is the simplest exercise that you've seen so far about Power Query, that I have imported the data from one Excel file and put it in another Excel file. So this doesn't make much sense to me. Why would I go ahead and do this regularly? So let us do some practice. Yeah. Here, when I go ahead, automatically you will see this window which says queries and connections. And here you will see 100 rows loaded. At times, you may have show queries. Depending on the version, the name of this particular queries and connection would be different. If I close this window, how do I get that back? Because that's a very important window to work with queries. What I'm going to do is I'll go to Data tab, and in Data tab, here I see an option that says Queries and Connections. If you're using Excel 2013, you may have Show Queries or Show Pane or Queries and Connection. There are different meanings that will be around this properties and refresh button only. So, if you do not have, find out either it will be Show Queries or Queries and Connection or Show Pane. Okay. And earlier, very earliest Power Query might have some completely different name, but I'm sure it will be somewhere in it around this properties tab. So when I go to show queries and connections, I click and I see that there is a data here. So when I go to sheet 1, you will see that this Power Query editor opened up again. Okay. Now what we are going to do is we are going to do certain exercises here. Okay. Now what exercises are we going to do? First thing, I see that first name and last name are there. I want to replace this first name and last name with only name column. So what do we do generally in Excel? We will go to one column, do concatenate, combine these two, create the third column, and then delete this column, copy paste this column over here. Or some smart users would go ahead and do flash fill that we learned on in our Excel training program. Yeah. Now the Power Query user will use a powerful method. Remember, work less but work completely. Your work should be complete with less amount of work. What I'm going to do, I want the first name and last name to be merged together. So I click on first name, I click on last name. I've selected both of these columns by holding Control key. Okay, I repeat, I clicked on first name, I click on last name by holding Control key, and now I'm going to go to Transform tab. When I go to Transform tab, see here I have something called as Merge Columns. Do you see this? Merge Columns. When I click on Merge Columns, what is it asking me? What is the separator that you want between these two columns? And what should this be named as? So I click here and let me say I want a space in between. What should the name of the column be? I want it to be name, and then I'll click OK. Okay. So now see here that first name and last name got merged together and it created name. Simple. Okay. Now Still you're not convinced that this Power Query is better. Let me show you some more features here. Next feature. This is hire date. Okay. I want one more thing here. In terms of hire date, I want to segregate date, month, year, then name of the month, then quarter of the month, and then day name. Day name as in 5th June 1999. Which day was it? Was it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? What day was it? Now, this is going to be a tricky task for me. Let me try once again. I go to hire date. Now, what do I want to do here? Do I want to replace the current column? If I do want to replace the current column, I have the option here. But remember, I don't want to lose hire date. I want to keep it as it is. So the same date option is available under add column also. When I go to add column, you will remember that it is here to create an extra column. So after salary, I have no other column. So I click here and see here, I would like to get the, let's say, day, first day. So I got that first, 5th, 6th, 7th, all these nothing but day. Then I would like to get the month. So I go ahead and click on month. And that gives me month number. I want month name. So again, I drop down. So make sure that you keep this column selected. If this column is not selected, it will select any other column as a base data and it will give you wrong output. So I click here, hire date, and go to date, and here click on month, and here I have name of the month. See here. So 5th June 1999, that was the June month, not number 6. This is March, so it's 3. Again, what do I need here? I need year. So I click on year. Automatically I get the year also. See, it's just a click of a button that we need. What I want now? Day name. So name of the day. I click on it and see here, 5th June 1999 was Saturday. 1st March 1999 was Monday. Yeah. So likewise, if you want quarter as well, we go ahead and click on quarter of the year. Now the problem with this particular approach is it only takes the calendar quarter. It does not accept the fiscal year quarter. Okay. So fiscal year quarter is different. So that we'll discuss maybe tomorrow if time permits. Otherwise, we may not be able to discuss it in these sessions. But the solution is available for fiscal year quarter. Yeah. That is also a bigger challenge that I've seen people struggle with. Now, so see how quickly can I create all these columns. Now, what I'm going to do is one more thing. I do not know how to write if function. Yeah. So what I want to do here is if the employee is getting salary more than 15,000, they are senior. If the employees are getting salaries less than 15,000, they are junior. Okay. So simple. So what do we do here? In order to do that, what am I going to do here is I'll go ahead and click on add column once again. When I go to add column, here I have conditional column. Now it may be possible that few users may not get this conditional column because of their version. So let me first explain that with conditional column and then I'll tell you with the normal method as well. Yeah. So first I'll go to conditional column and here let me give here the name as seniority. Now, in the latest version of Power Query, you will find this conditional column. It may not be available in all the other versions. Now, here what I'm going to do, if I don't know a function, I'll go to the column name. So, when I go to column name, which column name do I want to evaluate? I would like to evaluate the salary column. So, basis the salary column, we're going to find out whether the employee is senior or junior. Okay. So, I have selected salary equals. Now, I come here. What should be the value if the person, sorry, not equals, it should be greater than 15,000 as I said. So here I can either evaluate this value against any other column value or I can type a number. So let me type a number here. When I type a number here, if the salary is greater than 15,000, then we want that person to be called as senior. Otherwise, the person is junior. Now see, add clause, we can even write nested if function here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I have done this and I'll click OK, and see here I have easily got senior and junior depending on the person's salary. So this is senior, his salary should be greater than 15,000. See, 17,000. Yeah. This guy is, let's find some junior. They all are senior. Let's find someone here. Junior, his salary must be less than 15,000. Say 15,000. Okay. So even if I don't know about if function, I can write if function easily. Okay. Now, it could be possible that few of you might not have been able to try this because you do not have this option of conditional column. So in that case, you will write a custom column. In the custom column, I'll write custom if function. Okay. Now, when I write custom if function here, what happens? It is going to give me a window. So what did I do? I went to custom column. Okay. So I'm going to write this quickly. If now here I can choose the value. If salary is greater than 15,000, then senior, else junior. Okay. This must be written. And make sure, let me tell you one more problem with Power Query. Power Query is highly case sensitive. So you cannot make changes with the cases here. Here case doesn't matter because senior and junior is just the name that we are giving. But in certain cases, the case, that is uppercase, lowercase, capital letter or small letter, matters a lot. Mind it, this is not the problem in Excel. This is not the problem in Power Pivot. But it is a problem with Power Query. It is case sensitive language. Yeah. So I have written that. Now I'll click OK and see here I've got senior and junior. Okay. Now see, this is the formula that we have written. Those who want to see the formula, I don't think you'll be able to see the formula now. Okay. Yeah. So you can see this formula. This is nothing but the formula here. Okay. This is the formula that I have written by going to add column, custom column. Do not write each, if and all those things. Just make note of this one that is highlighted. So this is nothing but a conditional column, which is a new feature in the latest version of Power Query. I'm sure the people, those who are using Excel 2013 Power Query, those who have recently downloaded, will have this conditional column. This conditional column feature would be missing with people, those who are using Excel 2016, because your Power Query is an old version of Power Query. If you want to get the latest features of these Power Query that I'm using, get in touch with your IT department, ask them to download the latest Microsoft updates. Yeah, even if you're using Office 2016 and if you are not using Office 365, you will still need some latest updates to be downloaded from Microsoft website. So your IT person can help you to do that. Yeah. So friends, so far we have understood about the conditional column, and see how easy it was for me to calculate so many columns. Now I go ahead and go to close and apply. So now see, the moment I do close and apply, automatically these things, these columns got populated. After this salary, we did not have these columns, and see now we have these columns. That is the first thing. The ease of work is the benefit of using Power Query. Second benefit is, let me go back to the source data now. Okay. So now I'm going back to the source data, and here let me write 101 employee code, Pradeep Pardeshi, Winner, West Mumbai. I type today's date, and by the way, how did I type today's date? Control semicolon. Yeah, and I'm typing 1. Okay, so I've given myself a 1 lakh salary, and now I close this file and see here. I would like to see if that new row populates here or not. All I need to do is refresh, or there is a refresh here as well. So the moment I click on refresh here, automatically that data will get refreshed, and see here, Pradeep Pardeshi, I got Pradeep Pardeshi. Along with that, I got all the other columns as well. See here, today is 24th of April 2020. Today is Tuesday. Senior, because I'm getting more than 15,000, senior. So all these calculations have happened automatically without me doing anything. So understand, if your regular work that you do, if that particular work needs to be done, you will do once in Power Query, and next time when you want to do it, you will not do it, but you will press the button. Yeah. So it's as simple as pressing a button to get the things done. Yeah. In one training program, one person asked, sir, button dabana padega? So I don't have the answer to this question. Yes, you have to press this button of refresh all, and once you do that, you get the things automatically done in Power Query. Yeah. Let's see some other real life challenges that we have. Okay. Now, let me take another example. This crosstab thing is very interesting. Okay. Let me show you, and then you guys can try that. Don't open this file. Let me open this for you. When I open this crosstab file, when you look at this file, you will see that this data is horizontal. Okay. This data is again completely horizontal. What I need here, this data should be vertical. How do I go ahead and do it? Now, in order to make this horizontal data vertical, what we need to do is I select this data, I copy it. I mean, this is how manually it needs to be done. You guys need not do it. Just take a look at the screen. Let me turn this off for now, and I am copying this and pasting. Okay. Now I need this also to be copied and pasted, so I copied and pasted it here. Now I have months and data. So manually, if I have to do it, I'll select these two columns, Control C. I'll come here and go to transpose. Do you see? I have got this thing. So this we have done for one particular row. Now we have to go back to the second row. I'll paste it here, and now I'll transpose this one, Control C. I'll come back, transpose this one. Then I come here, second row I select that, Control C, and see how difficult is this. Now someone would ask, why do we need to do the transform the data like this? The answer is, this is monthly data. If my boss comes and tomorrow tells me, Pradeep, give me quarterly data, what am I going to do? Keep adding 3 months, right? That's the method of hardworking people. I'm a lazy person, so I want some easy method. So I won't be maintaining the data like this. If you maintain the data like this, it will be very difficult. But if you maintain the data like this, and of course this needs to be dragged down. If you maintain the data like this, in pivot table report, I can give you the same data within less than 1 minute. Yeah. The same thing, that quarterly data that you're asking, I can give it to you in less than 1 minute if I maintain the data like this. So let's understand, how do we transform this horizontal data into a vertical data. So let me come back to my crosstab here. I go to data, get data from file, from workbook again. Okay. Now I go to this Power Query short session and I double click on crosstab. Yeah. I repeat, I think I went a little fast here. You need to go to get data or new query or Power Query tab. Yeah. Once you go to Power Query tab, you will get the get data or new query. There you get the option from file, from workbook. It's the same thing. I got to go to the same folder that I was in, and now here I'm going to click on crosstab. When I click on crosstab, it opens up another window. Now in this window, I see that there is a worksheet and that has got selected. Select that and go to transform data. I clicked on transform data, but in your case, it will be edit data. It may not be transform, but edit. Transform is the latest. In latest version, it is called as transform. So you may click on either edit or click on transform. What do we do now is, see, I would like to transform this data. So this part of the data that I have needs to be transposed. Okay. Now this is in pivot format. What I need to do is, I need to unpivot it. So I click on January, shift right click. I keep doing it on the right hand side. So I have January, I have selected, and from January to December, I have selected all the columns. Remember, you're not going to do right click on any of these cells. See, all the column selection is gone. You need to click on the right click on the header. So let me do it again. Here it is January. I hold shift and do right click, and now I do right click here. Okay. What I have done, I have selected all the columns. I do right click and go to unpivot columns. See friends, the task that we were trying to do, it took us more than at least 10 to 15 seconds to just do it for 2 columns. It did it for all the columns in less than fraction of a second. Yeah, I repeat once again. I click here, let me do it, undo. I'll click on January and I'll select all the columns. Yeah, I selected January and I have selected all the columns by holding shift and click on December. Once all the columns get selected, what do? We do right click here and go to unpivot columns. When we do unpivot columns, this entire column comes automatically. Okay. Now, the thing that I forgot to explain in the previous session, let me come back because that step is a little important here. When I come here, I have created this column, that is salary, day, month, month name, year, and all these columns that I have done. You will be surprised to see that Excel or Power Query was documenting all those steps here. Yeah, it is documenting all the steps here because if you remember, I at the end added Pradeep, and the moment I refreshed, automatically it calculated for Pradeep also. I need not write a new function. Second thing, the moment I add a step here, yeah, that means Power Query has learned that step, and if you need a new data, it is going to apply these steps on that new data automatically. But the problem here is there is no undo button. You cannot do Control Z. Yeah, most of you would have had that question, and if you have made a mistake, then Control Z does not work here. But you need not worry. See here, I created this column and I don't want any of these columns. There is an X button that I can delete that step. Yeah. So let me do the same deleting step here. Unpivot, I don't need this unpivot. Let's delete that unpivot column right now. Right? Let's delete that step, unpivot right now. When you go here, this is the different tab on the left hand side. So I'm on sheet 2. So this is unpivot column. I deleted that right now. So what step did I tell you? It was a lengthy step by clicking here, then going on the right hand side, shift, click here, then go to right click and unpivot column. I can do one simple thing also. I click on EXP code and control EXP type. I selected these two things. Okay. EXP code, EXP type. Once I select these two things, do right click and here I'll go ahead and select unpivot other columns, not unpivot column. If I've selected the columns which needs to be unpivoted, I'll go ahead and unpivot columns. But unpivot other column means I don't want to unpivot these two selected columns. I want to unpivot the columns which are not selected. So here I have the option unpivot other columns. And the moment I do unpivot other columns, you will see that we have got 4 columns selected, and automatically this is nothing but our vertical table. And now once I click on close and load, this table will be easier to be plot on pivot table report. Okay. So here we can even rename this thing. Let me rename it as unpivot, so that when you work, you know what is the sheet 2 means. Sheet 2 means unpivot. So I press sheet unpivot and that is the name of this query. Similarly, we can change the name of this query also. Sheet 1 instead of sheet 1, Power Query Basics. Okay. I've clicked on Power Query Basics and now I'll click on close and load. Now see, it automatically adds a new sheet and gets the data over here. Alright. So here this is nothing but my unpivot table. One second, let me see if this is the file. Which is the file? Okay. So I'll do one quick exercise and then we'll go ahead and move on to how do we merge multiple Excel files into one file. So at the moment, what I want all of you to do is, let me close this window and come back to this. Let's import this data, fill. How do we do that? I go to Power Query, data, get data, and once you get data, now what you need to do is from file, from workbook. For 2013 user, Power Query, from file, workbook. Now let's click on fill. I talk about Emily. You can practice with Ken later. I'm going to talk about Emily right now. Okay. And I click on transform data. In your case, you will click on edit. Now there are two things. First thing, these are month, but see, these are nothing but numbers. And here Dublin and Kildare, right? when you see Dublin, there are a lot of null. Now in Power Query, there is nothing called as blank. If there is a cell which is blank, it will be noted as null, right? If you want to replace something with blank, you have to replace it with null. Yeah, remember that part. And null should have everything in lowercase. Yeah, so here null means all these cells are blank. Now what I want to do is I want Dublin to be copied till here, then Kildare to be copied from here till here. And if you remember in our Excel session, I exactly give you the solution to this problem. We are not working with Excel, but we are working with Power Query. So what I want to do here is I would like to go ahead and use the Power Query table. So now when we talk about Power Query, I will now click on county, and I would like this to be copied till here and this to be copied till down. So see, I click on this column and go to transform. When I go to transform, see how simple is it? Fill down. Isn't that extremely simple? Yeah, fill down. Once we go ahead and click on fill down, now the problem is month. This is not month. These are all numbers. I click on that and I would like these numbers to be converted into date. So see here, I click here and here it says data type. Now data type, it says whole number. I would like it to change to date. The moment I click on date, see automatically it gets converted into the format of date. Yeah. So at times you may have to choose the right data type. Here I have selected county and here month date. You will see icons next to it. These icons you can directly click here and change the data type directly from here also. But it may happen that these icons may not be available if you're using the older version of Power Query. Okay, then you may have to go to transform and there is a data type option here. You may also go to home and there is a data type option here. So in both the cases, the data type option is available. Okay, so now see how easy is it to change the county to fill down and change the month name to this. Yeah, and then click on close and load and see you get that data, clean data in this particular file. So now I hope you would have understood why should we get the data from another Excel file to this Excel file. Let me explain that once again. Let's say I had 3 different Excel files where I have 3 different kinds of data which need 3 different ways of processing. What I did was I used Power Query and got the data in each respective sheet here. Once I use Power Query, all the steps that I have done in the previous data will automatically be done on the new data that you copy. And now what will happen? This new data will automatically perform all the steps by Power Query and you will get this data. Now you must be having a question. How do we add the new data? Now there are 2 ways. One way I have spoken about, another way I have not spoken about, which I am going to talk about right now. But the first way, if I have to replace this data, now see, I don't want to add a new data. I want to replace this data. All I have to do is go to the source data, delete this Excel training file or fill file or cross tab and replace it with new data, just in case if that data needs to be replaced. But if you want to add the data, one is double click, open this file and copy the data either down or on the right hand side, whichever way works for you. Okay. Now that these 2 solutions may not be optimum because you might come back and say, in that case my file became heavy. Of course it will become heavy. So the second solution that I'm going to talk about will be even more simpler. But again, if you're working with huge data, let's say 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh, then tomorrow's session is going to be helpful for you. Yeah. I have personally worked with 7 crore records in Excel and Excel does not slow down. Yeah. But that is what we are going to see tomorrow. Today we are going to limit our session to Power Query. Okay. The second situation is, let's come back and let's talk about this Sachin data. So yesterday we had seen Sachin's data, right? What I would like to do is, this is Sachin's data. I would like to combine all the files into one file. Yeah. So this is the normal query that people ask, that every day one file they receive, they need to do something and send it to their boss. Tomorrow again they'll receive one file, they'll work on it and send it to their boss. Now after 7 days the boss will ask for weekly report. Now after 2 weeks boss might ask fortnightly report, monthly report, quarterly report, half yearly report, and you keep redoing the same work again and again. Yeah. So here what I'm going to do is, let me see how to go ahead and merge these files. Yeah. So if you go to desktop, Power Query, Sachin data, I'll copy this folder. Okay. When I copy this folder, I go to book 1. Now, let me tell you, the people, those who are using older version of Power Query, would not be able to perform this step completely. Okay. But don't get disheartened. Let's find out. Don't assume that your Power Query is outdated. Let's see. Yeah. If it is really outdated or not. Now, what are we going to do here is, my task is, I would like to merge all these files. Now, what I have seen many people doing, they open this file, copy, paste it in a file. Then open another file, copy, paste, copy, paste. So, I have experienced many people, they are experts with Control-C, Control-V. Yeah. So, what we are going to do is, less reliance on Control-C, Control-V, but we will perform better with Power Query. So, I have copied the path of this folder, and now I'm going to go to Power Query. So, when I go to Power Query, I go to data, again get data. This time I'm going to go ahead and use from folder. Okay. Now, because my data is not in one specific file, it is there in the folder. So, I click on folder. That is asking me for path. Path I had already copied. So, I'll just paste the path. If you have not copied, you can click on browse and perform the same steps that you generally do for attachments. Now, I click OK. After clicking OK, if you do not get the screen where you have combine, load, transform or cancel, if this is another screen which is nothing but Power Query screen, here you will see all Power Query options. That means your Power Query is very old Power Query. Okay. New version of Power Query will give you this combine option. Okay. You have to have this combine option so that you can go ahead and merge the data. Now, if you do not have the latest Power Query, then what would you do? I'm going to explain that, but I'm going to go a little fast in that particular step, because that will require 4 to 5 steps that I need to do. I'm going to go a little fast. If you do not understand, my request will be to go to YouTube channel by tomorrow at the same time, not at the same time, after this session or before this session, and watch the steps slowly. Okay. So now I'm talking about latest version of Power Query. How do we combine with the latest version of Power Query? See how simple is it? Just go ahead and click on combine, and here we have combine and transform data. So I click on combine and transform data. You will see it will ask me which file do you want to combine. I say sheet 1. It will ask me for confirmation. So I'll just select sheet 1 here. Just in case if you have not arrived to the screen, make sure that you remember to click on sheet 1. Now you click OK. When you click OK, automatically it's going to evaluate the query, and it has given me all these options. Okay. So this is nothing but all the data that I had, and now I don't want source name. I am going to remove it, and this is the complete data that I have. Now at the moment, let me keep it this much, and then I'll explain the next thing further. Okay. So this is the data. I'm going to explain the next thing in the next step. So this is the complete data with respect to each country and each innings that Sachin has played. Okay. Now I'll click on close and load. Now see the data from all different countries: Australia, Bangladesh, England, Kenya. The data from every country, I have got it here. Okay. Now I'm going to now perform the steps for the people, those who have older version of Power Query. But like I said, I'm going to go a little fast. You may have to catch up with the pace, or else watch the steps later, because I'm running out of time. Okay. So what do we do here? Again, we go to data, get data, from file, from folder. Till here the steps are going to be exactly the same. Then you will paste the path, click OK. Once that is done, like I said, you do not get the screen, so I'm directly going ahead and clicking on transform data. Now when you go to transform data, this screen that you would have got directly. Yeah, you did not have to click on transform data for the people those are using older version of Power Query. Now let me tell you something. Here I'm importing this data from Excel file. That is the reason your older version will not be able to combine. But let me tell you, if your Power Query is older version and you are, instead of getting the data from Excel file, you're trying to fetch the data from CSV file, right? If you're trying to fetch the data from CSV file and after combine or after using the folder, you have landed on this screen. Assume that this is nothing but CSV. Instead of XLSX, these are nothing but CSV. Then this option combine can help you to combine all the data. Okay, I repeat my steps. If you're trying to combine all the Excel files, instead of Excel files, CSV files, then you can click on this combine option. If you do it right now, it is going to throw a yellow error mark saying that file format is not compatible, because till that time Power Query was not compatible with CSV. One more thing, let me tell you. If you remember, when we were talking about Excel, I spoke about binary file. Binary file helps you to reduce the size. This was discussed towards the end when someone user asked the question, how do we reduce the size of the file? So I answered binary is the solution. Now let me tell you, if you're talking about binary files are not compatible with Power Query. Yeah, I have worked many times and found that when you try to import the data using Power Query from binary file or from binary format, the data is not compatible. Yeah, so make sure if you have the data in binary, you convert the data into XLSX or CSV before importing it into Power Query, and it might throw you some error that you won't even recognize. Yeah, so ensure that input data file format should be non-binary, normal Excel. Okay, now what I want to do is, I'm here and I would like to combine all these files. So what I'm going to do, these are all useless data. So I'll do right click, remove other columns. I don't want to remove this column, but another column. Now see, this is binary. When I click here, you will see some contents hidden. I'm not clicking on this binary, but clicking on the space. By mistake, if you have clicked on this binary, the easier way to come back out of it is delete these two steps. Yeah. So click here and it will show you what file is hidden within each binary option. I would like to extract the data, so I go ahead and go to add column, click on custom column. When I go to custom column here, I'll type get data and I type a formula excel.workbook. Yeah, and let me tell you, if you're using older version of Power Query, you will not get this kind of drop down menu also. Yeah, so this is nothing but current version of Power Query. So I use Excel workbook, open the bracket. Now here I'll use content because I want to extract contents from this file. So I close the bracket and I press OK. What does it do? See, there is some data which is hidden. There is one sheet, table, these all things which are hidden. Let me expand this by clicking here. And let's say if I check this box, use column name as prefix, if I keep this box checked, then see, the previous step name was get data.name, get data.data, get data.item. Let's say I now this time remove that check. I remove this check and I click OK. Now see here, name, data, item, kind, hidden, all these things are here. Got it? Now see, whenever you see a text in green color in Power Query, that means you must understand that there is something hidden within that particular cell. If I click here, you will see this is the data that I'm looking for, which is hidden in these files. Okay, this is the data that I'm looking up for. So I need this column, and rest every column is not required. So what I'm going to do, I right click here, remove other columns. I don't need any other column, but just this column, because this is the data that I would need. But the problem with this data is, see, this is the header. Excel Power Query should treat that as a header, but it is taking this as a header. What you need to do? Again, go to custom columns. Every time I'm doing custom columns and writing the formula here. So the formula for header is table.promote headers. Yeah, table.promote headers. This is case sensitive. If you type table T small case, it is going to throw error. In the same way, in the previous thing, if you have written excel.workbook, E and W should be capital. I forgot to mention that. I mentioned it is case sensitive, so you need to remember that always. So table.promote headers, I'll click on this data, close the bracket, and now I click OK, and see this table, the first row is not header, but this table, the first row is being considered as header. Again, I don't need the previous column. This is the new column. I go ahead and expand this data. Uncheck this. Okay. This is the same data that we have got. Okay. Now, so if you have not got this, don't worry. You can watch these steps. But the next thing that I'm going to show you that is even more interesting. Just take a look. So this is the previous file that I was working on, Sachin data. I go to home and close and load. Now see, this is data which is 500 rows. Okay, I forgot to do one step here. So whenever you forget to do anything, you can just double click on that. And what did I forget? There are a lot of duplicate data here. Okay, there are a lot of duplicate data here. I would like to remove all the duplicates. So what I'm going to do? Select one cell, Control A. And now I'm going to go ahead, remove duplicates. Why did I press Control A? I want duplicate to be available in each and every column. So I select remove duplicates. The moment I click on remove duplicates, all the duplicates have been removed, and I click on close and load. Yeah. Now see, there's something interesting which is going to come. So 276 data have been loaded. Now next step is, what do you end up with? Creating pivot table report. So I'm also going to create pivot table report. So I go ahead and click on recommended pivot table report. Here it gives me row wise, country wise sum of runs. So I click here. So this is nothing but my pivot table report. Next thing that I want to do is, I would like to create a chart. So what was the shortcut that you remember? Guys, do you remember the shortcut to create a chart? The shortcut was Alt F1. So when I press Alt F1, see this new chart comes on the screen. I click here and let me sort the data. Right? Now see the magic. Next time, let's say I'm getting daily data from someone and I have to create an updated sheet. What do? I go back to my source. This data from Australia to Namibia, we had only this much data. Now I go to Sachin data 2 and let me copy some data till South Africa. Control X, I go back and paste it here. When I come here, there is a new data that has come. Let me come back to Excel. The data did not update. It is still 276. Now, what I'll do, I'll click on refresh. Let's see. When I click on refresh, what exactly happens here? 576 rows we have got here, but this chart did not update. Okay. What I'm going to do, again I'm going to click on refresh. So I have to click on refresh twice and see this chart automatically got updated. Sorry, this table got updated, this chart got updated, and 568 rows. Let me show you once again, new data. So this is the new data. Let me copy the remaining set of data from Sri Lanka to Zimbabwe. I add few more data into this file, right? So as you can see, there are some duplicates, and if you remember, we had removed the duplicates, so it takes care of that. Now what I'm going to do, refresh once, 568 rows, see here, 568 rows, I go to refresh. So now here it clicks on 568, 811 rows. This pivot table did not get updated. I can even do right click refresh here. See, automatically it gives me all the record. So understand friends, here we are making use of Excel rather than Excel. We are working for Excel. So work for your company, but make Excel work for you. This is how your policy should be. So Power Query is a very good add-in in Microsoft Excel. If you are the one who is using regularly Excel, you can go ahead and use Power Query to do a lot of work. Yeah. So friends, there were a few more topics that I wanted to cover, but I would like to end this session here. Let me take up few questions. And before I take up questions, Prashant is pasting the link of feedback, so you can fill the feedback form before you leave. And then I'll take up certain questions here. And let me tell you friends, this is just a beginner for Power Query. Do not consider that this is the only topic. There are a lot of tips and tricks that I have not explained. Yeah, because of this time constraint, it becomes very difficult to cover a lot of topics, but I'm sure you will find your ways to learn Excel Power Query. Okay, and few things before you guys leave, very important announcement. Tomorrow's session is going to be on Power Pivot. I'm going to send the data. The size of the data will be more than 5 to 7 MB. Please make sure that you download in well in advance. It could also happen that I might send you little huge data also. Yeah. Let me see what all examples am I going to do, because the purposely I'm not giving you the heavy data, because at times it takes a little more time to load, and that will unnecessarily will be wasting time in work managing that data. But let me see. Yeah. But tomorrow's session is very important for all the people, those who work extensively with pivot table report. So there is something called as Power Pivot. Yeah, we are going to discuss that part. So how to open Power Query in Office 365? That is what I have been doing. Data, get data, and from file you can, this is nothing but Power Query that you can use. Or if you have created any of these query, double click here and you can do it. Can I import more than one Excel workbook in the same sheet? Yes, that is what this example was all about. If you see, we had almost 35 Excel files merged into one Excel sheet. But all this can be done through logical formula. Yes, it can be done in logical formula, but let me give you an example that you will have to write that logical formula again and again. But here you do it once and you don't have to do it again. Yeah. So that is the answer to your question, that whether do you want to work again and again, or you want to make Excel work for you. Once I do some manipulation on the data using Power Query and save the file, can another person open the file, say someone using Excel 2010? Yes, they will be able to open Excel file, they will be able to see the data, but they won't be able to modify if they are not using Power Query. And let me tell you, even 2010 has Power Query. You just need to go ahead and ask them to download. That's a very useful question. Let's say you send this file to someone and you also send the data source data along with it. Now that person saves it in some folder. When he tries to refresh, he'll get the error. What you need to tell the person, that before you go ahead and work on this data using Power Query, you need to change the source data. So how do you change the source data? Let me show you. I go to this data source, double click. This is now in Power Query. And now what I'm going to do is, after I go into Power Query, the first step that we have is source. I click on this settings. I did not talk about this settings option. This settings means if you want to do anything more of in that specific step, you can. So you go to this setting and ask them to replace that file. Okay. So the file can be replaced using this setting. And there are many things that you can do. Added custom column. So if you want to revisit the custom column, you click here and see if any changes can be done. This is inserted quarter. If you do not want that, you click here and you change the function here. Then next question was, my load to worksheet failed. I need to see what is the problem. Can I copy that step again later? Directly answer is no, but there is a way, but that will be slightly advanced to copy and paste the step. But let's consider that as no. There is a way, but that is little advanced. Let me not get into that. I'm using Office 2016 while clicking new query from file from workbook, but no window opens. What could be the possible issue? If you have clicked on new query from file from workbook, if it is not opening anything, restart Excel. If it is not working, please get in touch with the IT department and ask them to repair your MS Office. How to compile the data sheet wise means first sheet data into first sheet and second sheet data into second sheet. Okay friend, if you want to get multiple sheet into respective sheets, then you would not need to combine the data. You can go ahead and go to Excel file from workbook, and from workbook, let's say I choose another file. Let's say I go here, or else let's say this is Excel training file. Now if you want to get multiple sheets from the same file into separate sheets, there is an option, select multiple item, and now you can check all these options, whatever you want to get, or you can check all of them. Yeah. And then when you load, automatically these data will load in separate sheets. Yeah. Should the data be uniform in terms of columns? Answer is no, it need not be in uniform in terms of columns, but like I said, see, let me give you an example. Here, if I talk about New Zealand, one file, or let me open Australia. Okay. Now, if Australia file has runs at the end, doesn't matter as long as this runs has the same case and same spelling. Now let's say I copy this runs here, I cut this runs and I copy it here. Yeah, and if I make this run small, for some reason it has happened, this runs becomes small. Now this is a case sensitivity issue and Power Query will not be able to put this runs in the respective column. But rest of the columns it will put exactly below the respective column as long as their cases and spellings are same. Yeah, Power Query is going to put this in a separate runs column. We'll create one more column and put this data over there. So that is how it is done. So friends, I believe all of the questions have been answered. Now I will request all of you to subscribe to this channel so that you can receive our updates about latest videos. And Prashant is now sharing the link for Radhakrishnan Pillai's session. Please do register there because I would like all of you to be a part of this last seminar or webinar, because after this I will be coming back to you with our emails for future sessions, and in future also we are planning some training. I will talk about what trainings are being planned tomorrow. Okay, so friends, I thank each one of you to be a part of this session today. Tomorrow I'm going to send emails, and let me tell you that tomorrow's session is going to be on Power Pivot, which requires professional version of Excel. Yeah, and we are going to work with huge data tomorrow. So thanks a ton, friends. That's it from my side. Hope to see you again tomorrow with a new session on Power Pivot. See you tomorrow. Thank you.